this is what we have done till yet. We have created this little web page with a website title and heading span paragraph, and also we saw like how we can use this bold and italic tag. And now this gave us a little bit knowledge about HTML elements and tags, but we have a lot more other things to do, and that's what we will do right now. So for that, first what I'll just create a new folder. Let's just call it index.html. Okay, so just let me tell you one thing here. Make sure whenever you are creating a file, it's .html. Now, what is this .html? It's an extension for HTML file. Sorry, I haven't discussed it before. Like I should have tell you this in the first video, but don't worry. If I'm missing something, I'll make sure that I'm covering it in other video. So just make sure that whenever you are creating the HTML file, you have this .html extension. Otherwise, it's going to throw you an error, and you'll not see your web page inside the browser. That will be a problem for you. So I hope you haven't faced that, and if you have faced it, I hope you overcome it, and if you haven't, just try this one and you'll be good to go. So let's start writing code now, and to do that, first I'll type HTML, and again we have this image extension to do all the work for us, and we have this code structure here, and we'll just give it a title like let's just say website title. Again, you should get familiar with these things, and I hope you already are. So first what we'll do here, we'll understand some section like inside a web page we have few section. And what is that? In top we have header, which pretty much makes sense. Like it's yeah, it's right, we have a header at top, and to do that we'll just type header to keep this section here. And again, remember the head and header both are the different things here, so don't get confused here. Head is totally different and header is totally different. After that we'll just add a section here. Let's just call it section. Now why we need this section? So suppose you have a website and which have a little about section and one contact us section. Header and footer is different, it's inside body, so you have to separate them, the about section and the contact us section. And to separate them you can use this section. Of course we can use different page there and other things as well, but we prefer to use section in that case. So we'll keep one section for now, and after that we'll just go with footer. Footer stays at the bottom, and I think that's what it means as well. So it's footer in the header section and footer. So we have this three section in our website. So if I save this now and open up with live server, let's open it up. Let's see what's happening. As you can see, we have nothing here, so it's not doing anything. So what we can do now, let's get into the header and let's give it a title, website title or something like that. To do that, we'll just type h4 and website title. Okay, we have written that before. Let's call it your website name. As you can see, we have this your website name here. After that, we'll go into this section, and inside this section we'll create division. And what is this division? So suppose you want to divide a section in two parts, and to do that you can use two division. So let's call this division, and inside that division we'll go with h4. We'll call about us, or maybe about me, whatever, doesn't matter. After that we'll give it a little p tag for the paragraph, and loading with some. Again, let's say this. I'm using prettifier for this. Whenever I'm just pressing Ctrl S, it's automatically formatting the code for me. So in case if you want to use prettifier, feel free to use it. And if you don't know, in future I'll try to make another video explaining this prettifier. So let's see what's happening here. So yeah, we have this about and a little paragraph with loading with some text. So yeah, I mean it doesn't make great sense. Like we are not seeing a lots of difference. That's because we are just using these tags. We are not styling it or any. We are not using CSS or anything like that. But whenever you will use CSS, you will see the differences. Right now, it will be like a skeleton. I told you, it's a website. HTML is just to build the website skeleton. But just remember, this is your website name, which is in the header, and this about and paragraph. It's inside division, and which is a section again. Now I want a nested division, which will be inside this division. So let's see how we can do that. After P, I'll create another division. Yes, you can do that, of course. And here I'll keep a block quote. Block quote says nothing but just a quote to highlight some section or something like that. Okay. So here we have this lot of and what I'll do, I'll just select it and just give it a quotation. So yeah, we have it here. Now we need a span tag. Span tag just helps us to divide a little bit text from the actual text. So do that. I'll just give it a name. I'll call John Doe. That's pretty much makes sense. So if I save this now and show you, as you can see, it's taking a less width than the paragraph. If you see the difference here, it's taking the full width, and but here we are getting a little less width than this paragraph. So yeah, now let's just make it a little bit bold and italic, and to do that I'll just type B and I'll type I as well. I'll just cut this two and paste it here. Now if I set this, yeah, we have it. So yeah, it's quite okay, like it's looking okay, not having any problem here, but I'll just use a line break as we did before to, you know, make this line a little bit smaller. I'll just go to it here and just copy this and I'll paste it next. Just paste it here, and yeah, we have it and it's looking okay. We are not seeing any problems here. So as a again, just keep this thing in mind. This is the header section of our website, and this is the about with a paragraph, and it's inside a division of section, and we have another nested division which contains these block quotes. And in case if you are getting confused, like what's happening here, like if you are getting any kind of confusion, don't worry. Once you will practice it and once you will write code, you will get along with it. Like it's not that much tough. I mean, maybe it sounds confusing, but it's not actually, it's not confusing. You have to just go with the flow. You have to practice and it will be much more easier than you're thinking. After that, after the block quote, I will prefer to add a hr. So let's add a little hr here, and if I save it, we have a good hr, and at the end we'll utilize this footer section, and to do that I'll just say h6 tag, I think, yeah, and I'll say developed by your name that you have developed your website. Sounds smart, sounds cool, yeah. So yeah, we have all the things here. Like we achieved a little design. I'm sure that I'm not going to get a great design award for this design, but to learn HTML, to structure website, this is enough. Like if you want to build a little web page, this is enough to do. I know people will never give a shit about this, but for learning it's quite good, and I hope you are also understanding what's happening here. So now one thing I want to do here, that is I want to bring all of them inside this center. How can I do that? So to bring all of them in center, of course we can use CSS and other framework, but that's, we haven't learned that yet. So what we have to do it with HTML, and to do that I'll just Ctrl X, cut it, type center, close it, and I'll paste the code here. If I set, see, it's in the center. It's that much easy. HTML is that easy. So if you want to bring this in center, just write center. It doesn't matter what you are writing behind the code, no one's gonna see that. Just make sure it's working properly. So I hope you understood it. Now you might be thinking, how can I know what is header, what is body, and what is the section, division, and footer? How can I know that it's properly working? Well, that takes us to our Chrome developer tool. Just write Ctrl Shift I. Okay, good. And let's make it a tablet view, I think, yeah. And here we have this console and elements. So come to this elements and see, this is our code. We have the center here, we have header. Inside header you have your website name, and after that we have section, as you can see. Inside section we have a division which contains about us and this paragraph, and again we have a nested division which contains this block quote with hr. So you can, if you want, you can play around here as well. If you want to change this text, you can. If you want to make it only about, it will be about, but when you will refresh, it will it will be again about us. So don't think like if you are inside any website and you are changing code here, it's gonna change in the packet. Don't do that. That's that's foolish. Okay. So we have it, and if you want to see, we have a CSS here, but we'll come to that part later. But just remember, we have this elements things to check out how our website is looking, and if you are having any problem, if you want to check it out, we can do that from here if it's showing or not showing, like something like that. So yeah, we'll talk about Chrome Developer Tool a lot in future. So just keep this thing in mind. If you type Ctrl Shift I, you will see a Chrome Developer Tool in your desktop. The next thing I want to do is this HT taking the full width. Without using CSS, can we make it small? Of course we can. So how can we do that? Let's see. But before doing that, we have to understand a little bit about HTML attributes. Don't worry, it's easier thing to do. HTML attribute helps us to represent every elements and tags. So how is it happening? Suppose you have this h4 and you can give it a attribute class and maybe give it a class name of title. I don't know. Let's call it title. Yes. Now if you want to design this about section, you can use this title, this class name to design it. Well, we will not go there right now, but that's what we can do with this. Also, we can go with ID and we can give it ID of about, and if we want to use it with JavaScript, we can do that. Also, we can use the class with JavaScript. We can just access this ID or the class name of this tag, and we can use HTML, CSS and JavaScript to design or play around with these things. But we'll come to that part later. Just understand that we have HTML attributes which represent these elements and tags individually. It's not only class and ID. We have lots of attributes. We'll explore as we go further. But here I want to show you. In H here we have attribute called width, and then inside this width, if I type 10%, it will take 10% width of our screen. So if I can press Ctrl S, see, it's small. See how much useful attributes are. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you are understanding it as well. Let me know in the comment section if you are understanding it or not. So that's it for this video. I hope you understood it, and in next video we'll explore a little more about tags and elements. We have image hyperlink tags with the attributes. We'll come to that part, and it will be more fun. So stay tuned, have fun. I'll see you soon.